Let's learn how to use the tracker in DaVinci Resolve. So here I have a project set up. I have just one video clip of a talking head, and I've dragged that into the timeline. So now we have a timeline. The first thing we want to do is to head over to the color page. So I'll go over here at the bottom and click on the color page, and it's like this. In case yours is looking slightly different, I'll just reset the UI layout by going to workspace, reset UI layout, and I turned off the clip and turned off the gallery so we have a little more space here to work with. It's also a vertical video. So to do that, just go to the gear icon at the bottom right, and we're here in the timeline format, click on use vertical resolution. What I also want to do to improve the performance, since this is a 4K video, is go to playback, timeline resolution, and I'll set that to quarter. This will actually look a bit low resolution, but trust me, it's high resolution. It's just reducing that resolution to improve the performance when you're working. So we're going to create a tracker, and basically what that tracker is going to do is to ensure that whatever effect we apply, it's actually being followed, especially when we're moving in a video. So imagine creating an effect on the face, and then when you're moving, that effect is actually going to go away. So let's see that example here. So first I'll play the clip. So you can actually see in this clip, my head is slightly moving and tilting, and I want to actually improve and add some, little lighting around my face. So I'll just go ahead and set that playback back so that we can just have a, nice detail here on the face. So the first thing I'll do is to hit Alt S, and I'll right click, and I'll call that face effect TR, face effect track, just to remember what that does. And here, what I'll do is to set the timeline back to the start where I'm actually looking at the camera. So by doing that, I'll just quickly go ahead to our power window, and I'll create a circular mask here. I'll try and make this slightly cover the face area. So I'll drag this and make it a bit wide, and then move this down. I'll still drag this down a bit and move this down. I think this is a good position here. I'll just move this slightly to the right. So now you can see I actually have a mask around the face. I can hit Shift H, and we can see what that mask is doing. Also, there's a nice little soft area here. So if I drag it like that, it's going to be a hard mask. If I pull this red edge, it'll be a soft mask that'll have a nice little fall off. So I think this is actually good. You can also check out the number here. I'm actually using 2.4 to set that. So I'll switch back to 2.4. That's how you can use precise numbering. So I'll hit Shift H again to show the entire region. Now what's happening if I do Shift H? It's just telling me this region where we can see that is where that mask is going to be applied. If I go over here on the window and I click this, it means the mask is going to protect my face now, and the mask has been inverted, so everything else is going to be affected. So I'll just quickly switch that back so we can see what we're affecting, and I'll hit Shift H. Now for the interesting part. So let's go ahead and create a nice little, let's boost the color on the face. So here I'll just go over towards the red and just lift that up a little bit, and then I'll go towards gamma and then push that up slightly, make that a little bit cool. And then for the entire offset, I'll just drag this wheel and just bump it up just a little bit. Now what we can do is just go ahead and hit Control D. That's the before, and this is the after. So you can see we're actually making the face a little bit more lively by adding some color to it. And also what I'd like to do is go over here to the curves, and I'll just bump this down a bit and push this slightly up like so, just a tidbit. And again, we can hit Control D to deselect that. So now we have this mask right on the face. The problem is we're actually moving. So if I go over here, back to the power window, we have this mask around the face. We've applied an effect. But if we play this, let's try and play this. So you can see where I moved my head up a little bit, this mask has broken, right? So it's no longer there. You can see the mask appearing here. So what we need to do is to track that mask as our head is tilting or moving so that it can be applied to my face all through the video. And to fix that, let's head back to the beginning here, and I'll set this here. So let's go over just after the power window. You can see something that looks like a target cursor. Click on that once. And once you've done that, go over here to the top where it says track forward. Since we're at the beginning, we're going to track towards the right and just hit that button. So it's going to track for that short duration of the clip. Now, what happens is this. We are tracking the face mask and it's going to try and follow our face throughout. If I go over here on this red bar and just drag this back to the beginning, we can see we are actually tracking here and it's fine. So just where my head is turning, I'd like to push this back here. And the best way to do that is to click on frame. And now you can use your arrow keys and move every frame like that. So left is good and right. Left is going to move left and right is going to move right. So just when my face is turning here, we just grab the mask and push it back, set it here, just drag it a bit and just drag it to the left. And then when we're coming back, we can just push this slightly to the right back here so it's centered at the face. Try and center this, and we can even rotate it like so till we're actually back. Now it's actually done a good job at tracking this face. So basically that's how trackers work. And you can use trackers not only here on the color page, you can also use trackers in the Fusion page. The color page is more faster and intuitive, especially if you're a beginner who's learning DaVinci Resolve. So I suggest you learn how to do it in the color page before you move to the Fusion page. And with that, you can actually see how we can use a tracker to track an effect we've created on the face. Another basic example would be, let's say, for example, I have some lights in the scene and I want to track those lights to make sure those lights don't appear on the face. We could do the same thing here. So hopefully you've understood how trackers work. They might seem a little bit tedious sometimes, and it's a bit challenging. For example, if I create another serial node over here and say, for example, I'd like to change the color of my eye. Let's see that example and how we can do that. So now I'm on node 3. I'll right click, I'll go to node label, and I'll just say eye color change, because I'm trying to change the color of my eye. And it's always important to name your nodes so that when you come back to it, you remember. So now I have this eye color change. So what do I want to do? I can do this in two ways. I can either draw with the pen tool. If I go back to the power window, I can use the pen tool to create a nice little polygon shape that's roughly shaped like the eye. So I'll start with a triangle. And once I'm done with that triangle, I'm zooming in with the middle mouse button. So once I'm done with that triangle, I'll go over here and pull this edge like so, push this edge and pull this edge also. You can also see we have node handles. So with each of these node handles, you can do things like adjust the position like that. And then we can just drag this one and pull this here, but I don't want to add a few nodes. And basically we have a nice little polygonal shape. So now what I'll do is to go over to the, let's use the curve. We can use the curve to adjust things here. So I'll just drag this down a bit. We can just darken this a bit and just push this up a little bit to brighten that. And you can actually see the difference, right? So we'll also go over here to the midtones, and I'll just push that slightly a bit. And you can see how the eye is looking, the left eye is looking a bit different. Now, because we have a mask, it doesn't mean we always have to stay with that precise value. For example, I can change the opacity to about 70%. So it's going to apply only 70% of that effect on the eye. In fact, that's still much. So I'll just set the opacity back to 50. And you can see how that's looking now. It's not really bad, but it just adds a nice little effect here. So next, we're going to go to this eye now, this eye. And what I want to do is to track this eye forward. So I'll go back here and then let's track this forward. So here it's trying to, track that eye and store that in memory. So we can actually see what's doing here. So we have this. And you can see from this point on, this tracker is broken, right? So here, where it's beginning to, move away from the eye, we'll switch over to frame mode here on the frame, and we'll start moving our frames. So each time things happen like this, for example, here, where the eye has moved a bit, so I'll just zoom in really close and just drag this back, drag this here, It's a bit tedious, but that's how you get it done if you want to achieve something cool. Now here, what I can do is to just remove this mask here, that point, and then drag this. And what we're trying to do is to compensate for when the eye has closed. Now, when the eye is fully closed, I'll just get rid of this one. We can just draw the mask and collapse it till it becomes flat like that. Like so. And then we'll keep moving. Now the eye is opening, and then we'll start drawing our shape back. Remember, we can zoom in as much as we want. Now you can zoom in on that, drag your points, and you can see why having very few points is really key. All right. And then the eye has started opening, and we're going to just take a look at this and just adjust these points to compensate for that eye that has started to open. And I hope you can see the idea on how masks and tracks actually work. All right, so that's going to be it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Peace.